My name is Marc REISSINGER. I'm a French citizen and I'm the general manager of this resort, Durat Al Riyadh, to become very soon Intercontinental Durat. Well, in fact, I was working and leading the Intercontinental Dhaka in Bangladesh, and which is one of the flagship of the company in this part of the world. And as you know, it was in the COVID period, and there was an opportunity to come to Saudi Arabia. So Saudi Arabia, I was just having a few experience earlier when I was a regional director and was overlooking the Wyndham Dammam. But I was in the region since a long time because I worked in Bahrain, I worked in Dubai, worked twice in Egypt. So I'm very familiar, and I was handling and hosting Saudi guests in all these countries. And recently in Bangladesh, as you know, there is a direct flight coming from Saudi several times in a week, and we had a lot of guests coming, Saudi guests coming to Dhaka. Everybody heard about the 2030 program since a few years now. But to see it live and ongoing and everybody working on it is another story. So when I arrived here and I saw all these developments, all this dynamism, and there is one very factual signal, which is the number of cranes in the city. Yeah? And when you don't have enough of your fingers to count, and there are so many cranes everywhere, that you say, wow, there's something going on here in the city. Of course, the first thing you go to see is the edge of the world, yeah? So this one was absolutely stunning. And when you arrive, you say, what happened? They come with a helicopter, or how it is going? And then when you go closer, you understand how stunning it is, and that there is a very simple way to reach this hill, but it was absolutely stunning. So I did it twice. I was twice with open mouth and saying, wow, what a beautiful thing. The other topic was in Jeddah to go to visit the old city, which is now a very big project and ongoing, and it's quite interesting to see what they are doing there and to go back to the roots, to the tradition and all what is going on. So it's quite interesting because Jeddah is a very dynamic city and they are just coming back to the tradition. And then more than that, of course, you need to go to the desert. Yeah, I did the desert in Bahrain, I did it in Dubai, but here it's very special. It's something where you have the feeling even further to be nowhere, and that you are just isolated from the whole world, and you have no signal for your telephone, so which make it even more special. And the first one I did it was raining heavily, so we were supposed to sleep outside without the tent, and finally we couldn't do it because the rain was so strong and it was 5 degrees during the nighttime. So it was an interesting experience, but a great experience. Again, I heard before coming here that there's many things going on in Riyadh, especially during the Riyadh season and the way the things are going. So, but we are in the first line here because, as you know, next door is the Middle East Festival, and with all what it represents. So accordingly, when I attended the first time, this was a year ago, nobody wanted to believe me. Said, where did you take these pictures and how it went? Because this is so great and there is a so high atmosphere and a so high quality of the things. And I had to insist and say, no, I'm sane, and what I'm sending is from Riyadh. So Riyadh season is one of them. Of course, when you go to Boulevard, it's another one where you can see many other events. And when you start to go in some streets of the city where you have all these famous restaurants where you can really enjoy time and see all this atmosphere where people are enjoying life simply and having a good time. Saudi is like Bahrain, where the approach and the contact with the residents is simple. Yeah, there's some other countries where it's more complicated, but here it's open enough that you can find a way to discuss with guests, where systematically they ask you where you're coming from, and the conversation starts. And then when you are going to the hospital, when you go to make some checkup, and then, of course, we have the international expat community that you meet when you go to DQ, to the residence and to the embassy, where there are some celebrations, some things happening, where you have a great opportunity. And there's a lot of things going on with different associations, where you have some dinners, where you meet a lot of people. So after 1 year and a half here, I met already so many people, and mainly Saudis, which is quite interesting to discuss with, because they have their own vision of what's going on, but they want to share it with you. So, which is now one which is interesting, especially when you talk with seniors, people who are used to go abroad, who have an international vision, and where they are very proud to see how the things are going and how the things are moving fast now. Well, shwaya shwaya. My Arabic is a little bit, how to say, weak, simply because everybody's understanding in general English. So there are some countries, when I worked in Indonesia, I had to learn the language because I had only a few team members speaking. But here, almost everybody in the hospitality world, in our colleagues, are understanding and speaking English. So I took it lazy, and I have to admit I regret that I didn't go to a specific course the same way I did it in Indonesia, because it would have changed my life for a certain number of things about the Arabic speaking. We talked about the crane earlier. This is probably one of the tangible factors that shows that the city is growing, and it's growing fast. On the same time, currently all the young talent that we interview who are for the time being sitting in Jeddah, in Dammam, they have only one word: they want to come to work to Riyadh. This is the latest trend, and when you ask why, it's said everything is happening in Riyadh now. So this is the reality of the way the things are happening. Yeah. The beauty of the place is that this resort is a hotel, but it's a holiday hotel where you come to chill out and to relax. So therefore, all the infrastructure are done that you can really enjoy and having a good time, because our guests are staying 24/7 when they are coming. It's not like when you are in a business hotel, you come in the evening and go out early in the morning. Here people stay with us, so infrastructures are needed, and to be able to please everybody. We went to have a look on the lagoon, where we have the Boulevard of Romance, where our Saudi couples like to go and walk around, going to discuss with the ducks and with the geezers. And then next to that, we have this beautiful double swimming pool where kids and parents can enjoy and having a swim. It's still a little bit difficult today because it's still a little bit fresh outside, but it's going to be enjoyed for the rest of the year. Then we went also to see all the meeting facilities that are available that allow all our businessmen, the busy businessmen from the city coming and to chill out here and having a meeting that allow them to have a different vision and having a different point of view of how they can consider the business. It's a eye-opener for some of them. So, and then finally at the end we went to sit together that you can enjoy what we are offering to our guests coming on meetings and had a quick bite together. Saudis are open-minded people. When they meet you, they ask you from where you come and how is the country treating you, and then you meet week after week. Saudi enjoy having a good meal, like the French. Yeah, we like to sit on the table and enjoying a good meal, and to enjoy life simply. Absolutely, things are moving, and this was perfectly explained during the presentation on last Sunday during the 2 weeks event that took place next to the hotel of Durat, where there was this presentation of these 40 statues that has been done with stones coming from Saudi Arabia, so which was quite stunning. And the organizer were explaining that yes, this is part of the culture where we want to move forward. So we have invited 40 artists, and they were working with the local materials. And this is giving the first approach, which is quite interesting, to continue to encourage everybody to focus on our development. We are in the Middle East, we are in the Gulf countries where there is a very specific gastronomy available based on a few meats, but there's a lot of fish also available. And then there's the traditional dishes like jarish and like a lot of others, chicken kapsa and your traditional lamb, the way you prepare it. So what we are going to do here is we are going to make an Arabic bistro in this intercontinental, where you will have some French dishes with Saudi spices. For example, you will have a onion soup, which is pure French, which is going to be presented where the Saudi guests will be able to enjoy it, but with some Oriental spices. So we will go in a kind of a fusion cuisine, which is going to be between the French and the Saudi. When I was 14, I had two passions. I liked to eat because I had a grandmother. She was a fabulous cook, so I was sitting with her in the kitchen whenever she was cooking and whenever I was not at school. And the second is from the age of 14, I said I want to to travel and to discover the whole world. So what was the combination between these two elements? I said, what shall I do? And I said, yeah, it's obvious. Let's go in hospitality business, which means that I went by the long way. I did some basic studies, first to cook and how to serve, and then I went to higher, and I got a college, then I had a bachelor, and then from there I left my hometown of Strasbourg, and I went to work in Paris for 8 years. And from there, when this was done, I said the first, when I will be a general manager, and I was lucky because by 29 years old I was a general manager, so which means that from there I said, now it's time, let's go and discover the world. And this is what I did starting in 93. So 93 from today means it's 30 years that I am in hospitality business around the world, said in another word, citizen of the world. Yeah, the first of them is what we do on a very regular basis is cook for the friends. Yeah, is preparing a nice dinner, whatever is available, go to buy the food, prepare it, and then host it at home and share this together with the friends. This is, and I believe that it's unlimited what you can do, and it's a real passion. Other than that, there is many hobbies and passions. In sports, I'm playing squash, I'm playing now paddle, and it's a very funny game, and we have now 2 here in the resort where our guests will be able to enjoy that. And then of course golf, but it takes much more time to play, and enjoy sports in general, go to swim, go to walk, just to keep healthy and feeling good at the end of the day. So. I believe that 2030 is on. We can expect 2040 to be presented very soon, because now already 2029 has been highlighted of what is going to happen, yeah, which is going to be a big event again, and we can imagine that there is no limit. There is no limit because the process is engaged, things are moving, the infrastructure are settled. The people are coming more and more to work in Riyadh. So there's a lot of things, and the point is, what is the end of that? When is it going to end? It will not end. So we can imagine that it will become more and more larger, more and more entertainable, more and more having a lot of events, and on top of that, with this beautiful landscape that you can find here in Saudi. Eh ben moi je vais vous dire que nous sommes très heureux ici d'être à Dourat, où nous sommes loin de la ville, situé dans un endroit extraordinaire que nous sommes en train de transformer au fur et à mesure pour en faire un intercontinental de tout premier ordre qui va être un resort d'exception où vous allez pouvoir venir vous détendre, vous relaxer, passer des bons moments en famille, avec les amis ou avec des collègues de travail. Surtout, venez nous voir. Nous avons 22 canards, nous avons 4 rois qui vous attendent pour vous accueillir, en plus de toute notre équipe qui se fera un plaisir de vous recevoir et de vous gâter lors de votre passage. Et puis à tous nos amis, à tous les copains et à tous ceux qui nous regardent, on vous embrasse très fort. Ciao, à bientôt.